Vicki Nelms was born in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and moved to Pacific, Missouri when she was 2 years old. Her dad, Gerald, was a teacher and a coach and a Korean War veteran. Her mom, who is currently 90 years old, worked several jobs: bank teller, Six Flags Group sales manager, and realtor. Vicki is her mom's caretaker. Vicki graduated from Pacific High School. She was a three-sport athlete competing in basketball, softball, and volleyball, and went on to attend Arkansas State University for 2.5 years. She played on the volleyball, tennis, and bowling teams. She left at the semester break of her junior year and moved to Houston to work full-time with Astro World Amusement Park as a food service supervisor, as well as attending the University of Houston. She oversaw 7 restaurants and then returned to Arkansas State to finish her BSc degree with a physical education major and a health minor. Vicki began her teaching and coaching career in July of 1981 at Portageville High School in Missouri, then moved to Chillicothe and Snyder, Texas for 6 years. After a short stint in Cape Coral, Florida, she returned to Texas to coach at Texas Wesleyan University, then back to Industrial High School in Vanderbilt, Texas. Vicki then began her full-time administration jobs, starting in Los Alamos, New Mexico from 2007 to 2014. That's when Vicki came to Oregon, becoming athletic director at Clackamas High School and completing her tenure of 43 years as the AD at Adrian C. Nelson High School. Vicki coached basketball, cross country, softball, tennis, track and field, and volleyball while teaching in high schools. She also coached women's college basketball. At the high school level, she led her school to a Texas 4A state championship in volleyball, a 3A basketball Final Four in Florida, was an all-star coach for basketball in Florida, along with Conference Coach of the Year in basketball, volleyball, cross country, and softball in Texas and Florida. While working at Los Alamos, Vicki was the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association state president for 2 years. She was on the board of directors for 2 years, taught LTI courses, was a state coordinator for the CAA exam, and the New Mexico 5A Athletic Director of the Year. Vicki presented at the National Conference in 2009 on limited athletic facilities, served on the NIAAA Strategic Planning Committee in 2009, served on the DEI Subcommittee and Committee from 2020 to 2022. Vicki was part of the 2020 NIAAA Cohort Leadership Class. She was the state LTC testing coordinator for both New Mexico and Oregon. Vicki served as an OADA League rep for 2 years and was nominated for OADA 6A Athletic Director of the Year in 2017 and League Award of Merit in 2018. She was awarded the Bruce Whitehead DSA Award in 2022, the NFHS Citation Award in 2022, the Cindy Simmons Leadership Award, and the Bill Bowers Award of Excellence in 2023. Vicki has 2 sisters, Denise and Geraldine, and a brother, Gerald Jr., all younger. Gerald and his wife, Linda, have 4 children. Today we welcome Vicki Nelms to the OADA Hall of Fame.
How rare that someone competes in 3 sports in college. We don't see that in high school. And Vicki, I'm not sure there's a sport you didn't coach. And I'm not sure there's an award that you didn't win. My goodness, Vicki. You know, like the others, fill us in a little bit, fill in the gaps a little bit, maybe where you grew up, your family. You've been back and forth across the country. So fill us in just maybe a little bit, Vicki, that we missed.
Thank you once of all just to be here, but I was fortunate enough that I had 2 parents that believed in athletics. And my dad was a coach, teacher. He also played baseball in the minor leagues, played in the Yankee organization. So our family grew up that way. And I was the oldest of 4 children. And They encouraged us to do what we wanted to do. All of my siblings played sports, some more successful than others in the family. But that's the biggest thing, is my parents were just really good about helping us to become better people because of athletics. Grades were important. They wanted us to do well. And having a dad as a coach, for some of you that are in here, can also be one of the worst experiences that you can have. And many car rides home were not always fun. But I thank them for everything and where they helped me. And the thing they taught me is go where you want to go. And you know, even though sometimes I was far away from home, they supported me. They came to many of the games even as I grew up, as a player, as a coach. And I was fortunate enough to play. You have to remember I'm old now, so high school sports, the Title IX was why I played. And we didn't have many sports when I was in high school, but by my junior year we had started to gain more. And so yes, I traveled a lot, saw a lot of different places, and it's been one of the funnest experiences that I had.
Thanks, Vicki. So you're in the Midwest in Missouri, or is it Missouri? Okay.
I call it Missouri.
Okay, all right. In the South, Texas, Florida, New Mexico, then the Wild West of Oregon. What role, you've seen a lot of cultures within all those places. What role does sports play in our society?
For me, I wouldn't probably have graduated from high school in some aspects. It played a big part for me, and I hoped as I coached kids that was important for them too. I think athletics plays a role for a lot of kids that have no other place to go. And to be able to reach out to them and to talk about how important education is, but also about how important athletics can be for you. It can open doors for you. You may not play, even though parents think everybody's a Division I athlete. Just knowing that you've got a place that you can find friends and build relationships with other kids and coaches and teachers, I think it's really important. And I think without it, we'd see a lot of kids that would be struggling today, because I can think of kids that would not have made it through high school if it hadn't been for our athletic programs.
Vicki, you've coached at a lot of levels. High school, college. How does sports play a role in building character into student athletes?
I hope it continues to get better. I think we've taken a downfall in some areas with character, but I hope as administrators, as teachers, as coaches, that we hold our kids accountable for what they're doing. I know sometimes we have to give 2 and 3 chances, but I think if we look at what's happening, character means a lot, and that's what you're remembered by. And if you don't have good character, everybody knows about it. And you would hope that when your teams walk out of restaurants or leave a school bus, it's left cleaner than what it was, and that's part of building the character in kids. And I think that's really important, that we have to go back to teaching what character is. Not all kids know what character is, and from small schools to large schools, and I've been in small schools and large schools as well, but some of our kids don't have that kind of upbringing. They might not have a parent. They might be living with grandparents or other siblings and don't have that. And so as coaches and athletic directors, I think it's important that we continue to build the character and those relationships with kids.
Great wisdom. Good wisdom. Well, you've won state championships. You've coached multiple sports. You've been a leader in the school, in school districts. Vicki, who do you look for? What do you look for when you want to hire a coach?
First, are they going to build relationships, the right relationships? That's number one. Yes, X's and O's are important, but I can teach X's and O's. Not in everything. I sure don't know football, don't know wrestling, right? But I can help build, I can find mentors for them in X's and O's. But if they can't communicate, if they can't talk to kids and to parents, which we all know how parents can be, you have to find somebody that can build those relationships. And that means that it's not always an 8 to 3 job. It can be, be there forever, and you can not always have the best work-life balance in your life, but you've got to find a way to build this relationship with kids. You've got to find somebody that's passionate. You've got to try to hire the best coach that you can find. And you've got to find those probing questions. And then call people up. Maybe don't call just everybody that's on their reference list. Find other people to talk to find out something about them. But number one is, how are they going to build relationships? And find that, and then I think you can, as an athletic director, you can find somebody that can help them with the X's and O's part.
It's really clear, Vicki, why you won so many awards. I asked this question to Dennis as well, and maybe it's not just about new ADs, maybe it's about all athletic directors. Now knowing what you know, with all the years of experience you have, what advice would you give?
Something I didn't do, find a work balance life. Take more time for yourself. Get away from the office. I was horrible at it. And partly because I'm not married, so my kids, my teachers, my faculty, my coaches, that was the people that were my family. But find a work balance relationship. That's number one, I think. 2, find a passion. Be out on the field. Watch your coaches coach. Watch them in the classroom if they're a teacher in your classroom. Find ways that you can connect with those coaches, because you're only as good as the coaches that you have in your program. That's where it starts. And I think just trying to find that, but take time for yourself, get away, turn off your phone, don't answer emails. That's hard to do. I took a trip to Vegas with Laura one weekend. It happened. They all knew I was out of town. It snowed. Well, by the time we came out of Cirque du Soleil, I had 41 texts and about 20 phone calls asking me what we were going to do. But find time that you can get away and take that time to develop relationships with your coaches and with your admin that you have, because that's why you become successful, is because of the people around you, your support system.
Did you win when you were in Vegas?
No.
Vicki, who would you like to say thank you to for the years of work that you put in?
Well, my family, who couldn't be here. They're definitely who I am. The table, the friends that I've made, I wouldn't be here without them. They have been here for me. But all the ADs in this room that have been a part of me and helped me to become better, that shared your things when I taught a class, but also all the coaches that I've had work for me, with me, and then all the student athletes that I had in my lifetime. I've had some doozies. I have some that I will always remember, but I think you don't become who you are or get inducted into any kind of Hall of Fame without your support staff. And I had a very special admin team at Clackamas, and we got together on Friday night, and it was the funnest time I've had in a long time, because if parents can be a handful as an athletic director, but I can tell you a caretaker is even harder to do, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But having those special relationships and having those special admin teachers and coaches. And I'd like to thank the table that these guys are my family tonight. And that means a lot to me, but I think the OADA, and one thing too, if you're new or still an AD here, get involved in your state organization, get involved in the NIAAA. We can't all continue to teach the classes. We can't, you've got to find people to be on committees, and you have to find time to do that and to give back, and I think that's really important, to give back to what you're doing and give back to the organization that you work for and that you became a part of.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vicki Nelms, 2025 OADA Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
Thank you very much.
Very, very good.
Thank you.